Hi everyone, today I'm going to share with you this beautiful pattern of amigurumi monster or creature, I don't know how to call it, and I saw some of them on the internet and I decided to make a special tutorial for beginners because I think this pattern is so simple that if you like amigurumi and you don't know what to start from, you can use this pattern because it's simple and it shows the basic techniques and also it's super cute. I love it so much, and since it's Christmas period now, I decided to make it look a bit Christmassy. Also, I love to crochet them these cute accessories, this little hat, and since the next year is the year of bunny, rabbit, then this hat suits him so much. And it's very basic pattern. You can experiment with the size, you can make the body smaller, shorter, bigger, and the legs the same. You can make them longer or shorter, add some parts like nose or whatever you want, the heart or other things, and I'm sure you will love it. You will love the process and you will love to keep it. You can make it as your toy or just, let it sit somewhere or put on your Christmas tree. So let's get started. We are going to start to crochet this monster with the head, with the top. So basically you have the here is amigurumi magic ring, and then you just make increases until the size you wish. You can make it bigger if you make more increases or you use chunkier yarn and bigger hook. Then it can have any size you want. So this is such a simple pattern. Basically, you can crochet any circle. The bigger the circle, the bigger will be your creature, monster. Let's call him a monster. So you have to crochet like the size you wish, and then just to crochet as many rows as long you want it to be. This is for real beginners because you can customize it as you wish, and then the legs are super easy and you can add accessories to it, and also the hands. I will show you everything, the hands, the legs, the mouth. It's also very easy, and the eyes, you can choose to have safety eyes or you can make your own or use felt, anything you want. This is so simple, beginner. Well, now we are going to start and I'm going to show you how to make the magic ring. I have tons of tutorials of how to make the magic ring, so in case you will have difficulties, you can watch some of them on my channel. Maybe they will make this process easier for you. So all you need is very simple. You have the yarn and you put it on top of the other one and you create the loop. Then you put your hook inside, grab the yarn, and then yarn over, pull through the loop on the hook. It's very simple. This is your magic ring. You can also make double magic ring in case you want something sturdier, and I have a tutorial as well. So right now I'm going to make 6 single crochet. So 1, then you go inside the magic ring, grab the yarn over, pull through 2, 2, 3. I'm very slow because this one is for total beginners, because I think it's a perfect beginner project for those who want to learn amigurumi amigurumi world of toys that are very cute and beautiful. 2, 4, 5, and 6. So we have 6 single crochet. My yarn splits a bit. Now all you need, take your tail, pull, and close the magic ring. At this point you need a marker or contrast color yarn. So right now, if you are a super beginner, you are very lucky because I'm going to teach you this amigurumi technique when your stitches are really pretty and neat and there are no holes, and it's better than simple single crochet. So it's all the same like single crochet, that the only thing that makes difference is you go under both loops of your first stitch. Here I place my marker between last and first stitch. And then you don't have the yarn like this, but you have the yarn under your hook. So you have like that, you pull, you create these X stitches, cross stitches, and you make a normal, like a normal single crochet. So you go under both loops, you grab the yarn like this way, with the hook on top of the yarn, pull. If you don't like this method, you can use a normal single crochet, but then, oh sorry, we have to make increases, so I have to make into the same where you had one single crochet right now, you make another one, because the next row is increase in each stitch. So into the same stitch we make 2. One, and into the same where I just got out, I put another one, 2. So we have an increase. And you have to make all 12, because you had 6 before, and now you double each stitch, and you have 12 at the end of this row. So an increase when you have 2 stitches from the same stitch of the previous row. And now I double the last stitch, 1 and 2. And so you can recount your stitches. You must have 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's correct. And now we have to continue to make increases. So just make 1 single crochet into 1 stitch, and then an increase into the next one. So I will double the next stitch. We alternate the increase. So if in the previous row you had increased into each stitch, now you have 1 single crochet into the next stitch and then increase into the next. So next one, you are going to alternate all of them. First you have to make only one single crochet into 1 stitch, and then to the next one you have to make 2. So I'm sure it's more than clear, and you can finish this row by yourself until the marker. So see you after your row is done. The next row we have to make one single crochet into one stitch, then another one, and we are going to make an increase into the third one. 1 and 2, and you continue with 2 single crochet, 1, 2, and increase into the third, and then I show you how to make the next row. And after this row, it's our fourth row. We have to make other 2 rows of increase if you want to have the same size of the monster. So I'm going to make an increase randomly. So the circle will be not the hexagon, but more like a circle without these points of an increase. So we are going to make first one increase, and then we are going to make, as you may guess, 3 single crochet without increase. So when we started, we had an increase into each stitch, then after 1 single crochet, then after 2, and now after 3. 1, 2, yeah, splits. So I have to make 1, 2, and 3, and only after that I will make an increase after 3 single crochet. So continue until the end of this row, and then I show you the last row, which is the same. You make 4 single crochet increase, and then we crochet without increase. So I have finished to crochet 2 rows, 1 row with 3 single crochet increase, and also 4 single crochet increase. And right now you have to crochet without increase. In reality, you can crochet as many rows as you wish. You can make the body really long, or just crochet few rows. So I will crochet longer than this one. I want to try if the body is around this size. And also later I want to crochet longer legs. So after I crochet, I will tell you exactly how many rows. Just keep crocheting without increase. At least you need 30 rows that you crochet all together, and then we will see. And I can also measure in centimeters in case you have different hook and yarn, so you know approximately how many centimeters you need. And of course, if you decided to make the circle bigger, you continue 5 single crochet increase, 6 single crochet increase, and try to put them randomly so the circle will look more like a circle. And you can make any size of this little cute monster. So keep going. Now no increase, just 1 single crochet into each stitch. Well, I have finished to crochet 30 rows. It's around 12 centimeters. So now we are going to crochet a leg. 1 leg we will crochet directly, and then we will attach the yarn to crochet the second leg. So to crochet the leg, you can start at any point if you don't have the marker, and then you just make 12 single crochet like that. So you have 6 here, 2, 4, 6, like approximately you find, and then 6 on the other side. So I placed a marker, and now I'm going to make 12 single crochet like we made before, but just 12. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now I'm going to crochet all around just these 12 rows. So you can put like that, fold into 2, go to your first stitch and crochet in spiral the 12 stitches until the length of the leg that you prefer. It's a bit hard for me to do on camera, but so I think you understand. You have just to make single crochet into the first stitch. So you have 1, and then you just crochet all around these 12 stitches. And I forgot to tell you already, now you have to put the safety eyes. If you make embroidery, you don't have to do it now. So you can place safety eyes wherever you want. Normally I count and I place between 9th and 10th row. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So around here I place mine. You can make any distance between the eyes. So mine is around like this. And then we can count how many stitches here. 2, 4, 6. But it's all of your choice. It's not something you have to do exactly like that. I always do approximately, just looking in the eyes and see if I like the look. So something like that, and then already you can fulfill with Hollofiber. Then we make the mouse. You can already do the mouse now, or normally later I do after I finish the whole toy. So after you finish to attach the eyes, you can continue with the leg all around these 12 stitches, and then after you crochet like around 10 centimeters, and then we can start the second, or you can make them much longer if you want, or shorter. It all depends on you. So see you after I finish and I show you just how to finish the last 2 rows. So let me show you how to finish the leg. So I already made one. You just have to put the yarn for the second leg, and at any place of here 6, here 6, and have the same leg done all around 24 rows I have. And when you have finished, the last row is the row of decrease. So, and don't forget to put Hollofiber or other stuff, and we have to put 1, 2, 3, and we are making normal decrease. So you just go here, don't finish, then to the next stitch you have 3, and then you make a decrease, and you keep making decrease into each stitch. 1, 2, and then decrease. And then decrease. So just keep making the decrease into each stitch. You must have 6 stitches at the end, and when you have finished, you can just pull the yarn and then take tapestry needle and sew this small hole. So basically I just make few stitches across to close the hole. Can make them randomly. Then go this way. Go a bit stronger, and then just make a loop, fix the yarn, and then you can just pull the yarn, pull a bit, and finish the legs. And we have a big hole here that we have to slip stitch. So you go under first both loops and then attach the yarn. You can use tapestry needle if you prefer, and just slip stitch. So basically you have to go under this and under this chain, then grab the yarn and slip stitch. I have several yarns, so not easy to show on camera. You just slip stitch and then you go under next chains and next, and you also slip stitch. So that's it until the end. And now I show you the last part, is where we have to make the hands. I just make the magic ring, and then we make as usual 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have to make an increase alternating. First you make an increase, then you make just 1 single crochet, then you have to make and increase. So I have to enlarge my yarn because I'm using 3 strands of yarn instead of 1, because if too thin, I have a video in case you have a thin yarn and you want to use it for bigger projects and get the thicker yarn, then you can use this method. So you have to make an increase. Next stitch, just 1 single crochet, no increase. Then again increase, so we have 3 increases, and in total we must have 9 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and then you crochet until the length you want, or I tell you how many rows I have. Around 16 rows without increase, just until here. And then I show you how to finish the hand and how to sew it to the body. So I have finished to crochet 16 rows. Now I'm going to make a decrease into each stitch, so the hole will be much smaller. So I have 1, I move to the next, and now I pull through, I have 3, and I make decrease. Then under next chain, next, and I have a decrease. So I go to the next, and I make my last decrease. So right now I have 5 single crochet, and I will make 2 rows of 5 single crochet all around, and the last row will be 5 slip stitches. Then I just cut the yarn and I'm ready to sew the hand. So just make 5, if you count, just 10 single crochet and then 5 slip stitches. So I have 2 rows of 5 single crochet. It looks like this, and now I just make slip stitch 1. So you go, grab the yarn and pull through the loop on the hook. 2, 3, 4, and the last 5. Then you just have to pull the yarn a bit longer so you can sew it to the body and cut it. The 2 hands must be absolutely the same. Crochet in the same way. And now I show you how to sew it to the body. I'm going to show you first that you can make them at any place, but mine, I'm making like, let's say half of the body. So I count here all the rows, and they are between 15 and 16 row. Here start the hand, and the same there, and just use the tapestry needle and you sort of attach it like this, on the side. To be honest, I don't think I have to really show how I make it. I just randomly um, sew it into the body. I'm not following any technique, just as I feel. I grab one stitch on the hand and one stitch on the body, and that's it. You must be sure that it's attached tightly to the body, that you make enough stitches, and the way you make it, it doesn't make big difference. As you see, there is nothing special. Just make the stitches all around and put them on the same level, and that's it. And then I show you the mouth. After you attach the hands, you can make the mouth. You can make even a smile or different type or the same. I show you how I make this one. It's just one row down after the eyes, a bit on the side. Can insert the needle. Can use any color yarn, contrast color yarn, and make zigzag. So just put here, then go up, then come back to the same spot. And actually you can make any shape, and even these zigzags are very random. I don't follow any rule, so just go, and like that you go until the end of the eye. So I show you when I finish. So our little cuties are ready, and all we need is to add some accessories for them. If you wish, I can show you separate video how to make this special Christmas hat, or you can make different colors and it will be just a normal hat, or also this kind of leg warmers. We can make crochet. These are knitted and I need just one. Had no time to finish the second one, and these things make them even cuter, warmer, so I can make in the next videos. Just let me know if you like this tutorial, if you want to make something like this, and thanks for watching. See you again next time.